Something is moving inside you. You have felt it even if you could not name it. It is not loud. It is not dramatic. It is more like a current running beneath the surface of your daily life, shifting things in ways you can sense but cannot always see. If you are an Aries, this inner movement is not random. It is directional. It is purposeful. And the 12 shifts we are about to explore together may be the most important map you receive this year. Because what is happening inside you right now is not just change for the sake of change. It is a deep, intentional restructuring of who you are and how you move through the world. So settle in. Let these words land where they need to land, and trust that you are hearing this at exactly the right time. Movement 1. The first inner movement that could redefine your path is a shift in what you believe you deserve. For most of your life, there has been a quiet ceiling on your expectations. Not the expectations you show the world. Those have always been high and bold, as befits an Aries. But the deeper expectations, the ones you hold in private, the ones that whisper to you when the lights go out and everyone has gone home, those expectations have often been surprisingly modest. You expected struggle. You expected to have to fight for every good thing. You expected that ease was something other people experienced, but that was not really meant for you. And because you expected it, you built your life around it. You became brilliant at surviving difficulty, magnificent at overcoming obstacles, unmatched at pushing through pain. But somewhere in all that pushing, you forgot to ask yourself whether the pushing itself was the problem. Not the challenges you faced, but the belief that challenges were all you deserved. That belief is shifting now. Slowly, carefully, like a great ship changing course by a single degree, your inner compass is pointing toward something different. Toward the radical idea that maybe, just maybe, good things are allowed to come easily to you. That maybe joy does not always have to be earned through suffering. That maybe you are permitted to experience abundance without guilt, pleasure without payment, love without proving that you have worked hard enough to receive it. This shift terrifies part of you. The part that has always equated worthiness with effort. The part that believes resting means failing and receiving means owing. But there is another part of you, a wiser part, a part that has watched you exhaust yourself in pursuit of things that others stumbled into effortlessly, and that part is tired of the old equation. It wants a new one. And it is building one right now, inside you, beneath the surface, in the quiet chambers of your heart where the most important decisions are always made. Movement 2. The second inner movement has to do with anger. Not the explosive, surface-level anger that Aries is famous for, though that has its place and its purpose. This is about the deeper anger. The old anger. The anger that has been sitting in your body for years, maybe decades, like a stone at the bottom of a well. You may not even think of it as anger anymore. It has been there so long that it has become part of the landscape, part of the way you see the world, part of the lens through which you interpret every interaction, every disappointment, every moment when life did not live up to the standard you believed it should. But this old anger is beginning to dissolve, not through force, not through willpower, not through any conscious decision you made. It is dissolving because you have lived long enough to see the full arc of the stories that created it. The betrayal that felt like the end of the world at 30 becomes, at 60, a painful but necessary lesson. The injustice that burned you at 40 becomes, with time, a chapter in a story that ultimately led somewhere meaningful. The loss that shattered you becomes, viewed from enough distance, the clearing that made room for what came next. You are not forgetting any of this. You are not excusing any of it. You are simply seeing it in context. And when anger is seen in context, it loses its edge. It softens from a weapon into a wound. And wounds, unlike weapons, can heal. This healing does not make you softer in a way that leaves you vulnerable. It makes you softer in a way that leaves you open. Open to connections that anger was blocking. Open to joy that resentment was muting. Open to the kind of peace that only comes when you finally put down the sword you have been carrying for so long that your arm forgot what it felt like to be free. Movement 3. The third movement is subtle but profound. You are beginning to separate your identity from your achievements. For an Aries, this is seismic. Your entire self-concept has been built on what you have done, what you have conquered, what you have proven. Take that away, and who are you? That question used to terrify you. Now it intrigues you. Because you are starting to suspect that who you are without the achievements is far more interesting, far more substantial, far more worthy of love than the trophy case you have been building your whole life. This does not mean your achievements do not matter. They do. They are evidence of your strength, your determination, your refusal to accept less than what you know you are capable of. But they are evidence, not essence. And the difference between evidence and essence is the difference between a photograph and the person in it. You are not the photograph. You are the living, breathing, evolving being that the photograph could only partially capture. And that being, that essence, is what is emerging now. The you beneath the doing. The you that exists in the spaces between accomplishments. The you that does not need a resume to prove its value because its value is inherent, was always inherent, and will always be inherent regardless of what you do or fail to do. Movement 4. The fourth inner movement involves the way you experience solitude. There was a time when being alone felt like a punishment, an absence, a void that needed to be filled with noise or activity or other people's energy. But something has changed. Solitude is becoming something you seek rather than something you endure. Not because you have given up on connection, far from it, but because you are discovering that the richest conversations you can have are often the ones you have with yourself. In the quiet, when no one is watching and no one needs anything from you, a different version of you emerges. A contemplative version. A version that asks deep questions and is patient enough to wait for answers that do not come quickly. A version that can sit with discomfort without immediately reaching for distraction. This relationship with solitude is one of the most powerful inner movements happening in your life right now. Because the person who can be at peace alone is the person who brings peace into every room they enter. The person who does not need noise to feel alive is the person who can hear the signals that life is trying to send. And those signals, the quiet ones that only arrive in silence, are the ones that contain the most important information about where you are headed next. Movement 5. The fifth movement is a restructuring of your priorities. Not the surface priorities like what to have for dinner or which task to tackle first. The deep priorities. The ones that determine how you spend your time, your energy, your love. These priorities are shifting because you are shifting. Things that seemed urgently important 5 years ago have faded into background noise. Things that seemed trivial or optional have moved to the center of your awareness. Relationships over recognition. Health over hustle. Presence over performance. Peace over perfection. These are not just words. They are becoming the operating principles of your daily life. And as they take root, your decisions begin to align with them automatically. You find yourself saying no to things that once would have consumed you. You find yourself saying yes to things that once would have scared you. You find yourself, perhaps for the first time in your life, making choices based on what your heart wants rather than what your fear demands. Movement 6. The sixth inner movement touches something primal in the Aries spirit. Your relationship with control is changing. You have always been someone who wanted to hold the reins, to steer the ship, to be the one in charge of the direction and speed and destination of your own life. And that instinct has served you well in many ways. It kept you from being swept along by other people's agendas. It gave you the strength to carve your own path when no path existed. But it also exhausted you, because controlling everything is impossible, and the attempt to do so costs more energy than any human being has to spare. Now, something in you is releasing. Not all at once, not dramatically, but in small, deliberate surrenders. You are letting go of the need to control outcomes you cannot influence. You are releasing the grip on timelines that were never really yours to dictate. You are making peace with the fact that some things will unfold in their own way, at their own pace, regardless of how hard you push or how cleverly you plan. If what you're hearing feels accurate, imagine what could happen if you applied this energy intentionally for 21 consecutive days. That's exactly what the 21-day program in the pinned comment is built for. Daily guidance, focused direction, and real momentum. If you're tired of staying in the same cycle, this is your structure. Movement 7. The seventh movement is happening in the realm of trust. You are learning to trust again, but not in the way you did when you were young. Young trust is naive. It gives without discernment. It opens without protection. It believes because it has not yet learned that belief can be betrayed. But the trust you are building now is different. It is seasoned, tested. It knows exactly what it risks and chooses to risk it anyway. This mature trust does not extend itself to everyone. It is selective, careful, earned rather than given. But when it does extend itself, it is deeper and more resilient than anything you felt in your youth. Because this trust has been broken before and rebuilt. It has been tested and survived. It carries the knowledge that betrayal, while painful, is not fatal. That disappointment, while real, does not have to be permanent. That the human capacity for healing is far greater than the human capacity for harm. This new trust is not just about other people. It is about trusting yourself, trusting your judgment, trusting your instincts, trusting that the decisions you make from a place of honesty and care will lead you somewhere worth going. Even if the path is not straight and the destination is not exactly what you imagined. Movement 8. The 8th inner movement has to do with gratitude, but not the generic kind that gets printed on greeting cards. This is the specific, detailed, sometimes painful gratitude that comes from looking back at your life with clear eyes and seeing how even the hardest moments served a purpose. You are starting to feel genuinely grateful for things that once caused you nothing but suffering. The relationship that ended badly but taught you what you actually need in a partner. The job you lost but that freed you from a life you secretly hated. The illness that terrified you but forced you to take care of yourself in ways you never would have otherwise. This is not toxic positivity. This is not pretending that bad things were good. This is the mature recognition that the thread connecting your worst moments to your best ones is often the same thread. And following that thread with honesty and courage leads you to a place of gratitude so deep that it transforms how you experience everything. Movement 9. The 9th movement is about creativity in its purest form. Not artistic creativity necessarily, though that may be part of it. The creativity that is waking up inside you is the ability to imagine your life differently. To look at the same circumstances, the same resources, the same relationships, the same body, the same history, and see possibilities you never noticed before. This creative vision is not about reinventing yourself from scratch. It is about reimagining what already exists, seeing the potential in what you already have, recognizing that the raw materials of an extraordinary life are already in your possession. They just need to be arranged differently. And that rearrangement, that creative act of looking at your life with fresh eyes and saying, "What if I did this differently?" is one of the most powerful inner movements available to you right now. Movement 10. The 10th movement involves your relationship with fear. Not eliminating it, because that is neither possible nor desirable. Fear has kept you alive. Fear has sharpened your instincts. Fear has driven you to prepare, to protect, to persevere. But your relationship with fear is changing from one of servitude to one of partnership. You are learning to feel the fear and act anyway. To acknowledge it without obeying it. To listen to what it has to say and then decide for yourself whether its message is accurate or whether it is simply echoing an old pattern that no longer applies. This is perhaps the most liberating inner movement of all, because when fear stops being your master and becomes your advisor, you gain access to a freedom you may not have felt since childhood. The freedom to try without guaranteeing success. The freedom to love without guaranteeing reciprocation. The freedom to dream without guaranteeing that every dream will come true. Some people watch, others transform. If you want to be in the second group, the 21-day guide in the pinned comment gives you a clear step-by-step process aligned with your sign. This isn't about waiting, it's about moving. Movement 11. The 11th inner movement is a growing comfort with impermanence. You are learning to hold things loosely, to appreciate what you have without clinging to it, to love without possessing, to enjoy without demanding that enjoyment lasts forever. This is one of the hardest lessons for an Aries, whose instinct is to seize and hold, to claim and defend. But you are discovering that the things you hold most loosely are often the things that stay longest. And the things you grip most tightly are often the things that slip through your fingers. This comfort with impermanence is not resignation. It is liberation. It frees you from the exhausting work of trying to freeze life in place and allows you to experience each moment for exactly what it is. Temporary, precious, unrepeatable, and therefore infinitely valuable. You are beginning to understand that the beauty of a sunset is inseparable from its brevity, that the preciousness of a conversation is connected to the fact that it will never happen in exactly the same way again, that the depth of love is directly proportional to its vulnerability. And in this understanding, you are finding a peace that permanence could never provide. Movement 12. The 12th inner movement is the one that contains all the others. It is the movement toward wholeness. Not perfection, wholeness. The acceptance of every part of yourself, the strong and the fragile, the brave and the afraid, the generous and the guarded, as essential pieces of a complete human being. You are stopping the war against yourself. The war that said some parts of you were acceptable and others needed to be hidden or destroyed. The war that divided you into the self you showed the world and the self you kept locked away. That war is ending, not with a treaty or a surrender, but with the simple, quiet realization that there was never really an enemy. There was only you. All of you. And all of you is not just acceptable. It is magnificent. When you stop fighting against parts of yourself, the energy that was consumed by that internal battle becomes available for other things. For creation. For connection. For the kind of deep, nourishing rest that only comes when you are not at war. And in that availability, in that openness, in that radical acceptance of your own complete and complicated humanity, you find something you have been searching for your entire life. You find home. Not a place. Not a relationship. Not an achievement. A feeling. The feeling of being exactly who you are, exactly where you are, and knowing with every cell of your being that it is enough. That you are enough. That you have always been enough. Movement 13. The 13th inner movement is related to generosity, but not the kind measured in gifts or money. It is the generosity of spirit that allows you to celebrate other people's victories without feeling diminished by them. To witness someone else's joy without comparing it to your own situation. To genuinely want good things for others, even when good things have not yet arrived for you. This generosity used to be difficult. When you were in survival mode, every good thing someone else received felt like it came from a limited supply, and their gain was your loss. But you are moving beyond that scarcity thinking now. You are beginning to see that abundance is not a pie with a fixed number of slices. That someone else's happiness does not reduce the amount available for you. That the universe's capacity for blessing is infinite, and your turn has not been skipped. It simply has its own timing. And this shift in perspective is creating ripples in your life that you may not see, but that others certainly feel. Movement 14. The 14th and final inner movement is perhaps the simplest and most profound of all. You are choosing to keep going. Not because you have to, not because you have no other choice, but because after everything you have experienced, after every storm and every drought and every dark night of the soul, you still believe. You still believe that tomorrow could be better than today. You still believe that the effort you pour into your life matters. You still believe that love, in all its complicated and sometimes painful forms, is worth the risk. And that choice, that daily, deliberate, courageous choice to keep going. That is the movement that makes all the others possible. Without it, nothing else matters. With it, everything does. All 12 movements, every inner shift we have explored today, are working together inside you right now. They are not separate events. They are parts of the same transformation, and that transformation is not something happening to you. It is something happening through you. You are not the object of this change. You are the author of it. Every choice you have made, every boundary you have set, every tear you have shed, every morning you dragged yourself out of bed when staying there would have been so much easier. All of it has been writing this story. Your story. And the chapter you are entering now is one of the most important ones yet. Not because it is the easiest, not because it is the most dramatic, but because it is the one where everything you have learned, everything you have survived, everything you have become, finally comes together. And what it creates, this convergence of wisdom and courage and tenderness and strength, is something the world has never seen before. Because it is you, the fully realized, fully awakened, fully alive you. And there is only one of those in the entire history of the universe. You have two options after this video: close it and hope things shift, or decide that the next 21 days will be different. If you choose the second, the structured 21-day transformation aligned with your sign is waiting in the pinned comment. The energy is already moving, the only question is whether you are.